Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to, no, not Tarot Playdate number 67. Tarot Playdate number 68. Come on, fix it. All right, so my friends, full transparency. I am just now drinking my first cup of coffee of the day. I am a little slow moving today. I was up way too late preparing something for a special announcement that is coming later, probably this evening or this afternoon. So watch this space. Okay, let me say hello to everybody who is in here while I work to get caffeinated. Elizabeth is here, but not participating, not feeling well. I'm really sorry. Don't know if she's still here to hear me say that, but if you watch it back, I hope you're feeling better. Antoinette, Intuitive Tarot and Jewelry, hello. Jennifer Ball, hi, nice to see you, Jenna. Longman Tarot is here. Hi, Richard. We have Becca Toxin Tarot. Hi, Becca. And Kristen Louise Tarot, you made it. Nice to see you back. And then we have Spirit Healing Tarot. Oh, I thought you were giving me your name for a second. So I was like, Richard, Kristen, but oh wait, that's not your name. Told you I need to drink that coffee, right? Hi, Gigi Nilsson. And let's see who else is here. L, Playdate 68. I know. Stop talking about how many cards are left. I'm going to panic. Shanti Diva, hello. We have Barbara Sharp. Nice to see you. Patrice is here. Woohoo. What Elle said. I know. That face, Patrice. I make that face every time. That little emoji. Tyken Lightmoon. Hello, hello. And we have Jackie Jacaranda. Nice to see you. And oh, no. We were doing so good. When I make that noise, that means the chat jumped. Let's see. We got some people saying hello. Corvin Tail Raven Tarot. Hello, my friend. We have scrolling. Shane is in the room, at least for a few minutes. Nice to see you, my son. And Pal's Tarot Tent is here. Spirit Healing Tarot. I think I did say hello to you. Elle Gardner, hello. And Kim Moon Whisper, there she is. Nice to see you. And Maharet is here. And there's Simon. I don't know what I was going to call you. I think I tried to mix Simon and AF in the same sentence. AF, Simon. How are you? And then we have Beth at Asphasia Rising. Nice to see you. Donna Riedler is here. Tarot Trainee. Oh, we're all rolling in now. Tarot Knit Reed Rabbit. Ooh, that's a fun name. Are you new to Playdate or just new to saying hello? We have Neem Essence 818. Hello, darling. And then we have Sean listening in. I was going to say nice to see you, Sean, but you know, you know what I mean. And then we have, yeah, this mug it's huge. I thought I ordered the same size. So Simon and I have very similar blue mugs that I think they're about like, a 20 ounce mug, 16 to 20 ounce mug. This one came huge, but I feel like I ordered the same size, but they're all handmade. So maybe I just got lucky, but it holds a lot of coffee. So that's really good, especially today. And then we have here, let's see, Lori Kramer is here. Queen Aset Heru, hello. And I've almost made it to the bottom. Gracia T, hi Gracia. And then, did I make it? I hope I didn't miss anyone. Been a silent watcher for a while. Love Playdate. Oh, it's so nice of you to say hi. Tarot Knit Reed Rabbit. I love that channel name. Okay, let me turn this banner off. And let's get to, oh, I forgot to ask you while I was doing that. See, all off kilter. Any particular Eight of Swords moments? I felt like a lot of people this week here in the US, perhaps, God, was that just this last week? It really was. But I felt like a lot of people are breathing just a little bit easier here in the US. So I felt like that was a real Eight of Swords kind of moment. I won't get into necessarily the details if you don't know what I'm talking about. I don't honestly know where you've been. So we need to get answer in. or look at figuring out what our card is for this week. I will get my words. One more sip of coffee, and then I will start asking for your questions. So be thinking about them, you veteran play daters. We're going to gather a list of 5 questions that we will use this week's card to answer. And then, this week's card from 5 different alternative decks that I have selected so that we can look at this week's card in all sorts of different varieties. And it helps if you put it in all caps because I'm going to be switching over to the StreamYard chat so I can highlight them and make sure I get them saved for later. Let's see. Do we have somebody else who's new in here? Lulu. Wait. Where's the new person? Layli Muma. Layli Muma, am I saying that right? Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Brant saying hello so that I don't give him a hard time for not saying hello later. Nice to see you. Keep tie-dyeing, my friend. Keep tie-dyeing. All right. So Neem is guessing that the Empress is going to show up. So what questions do you have for our card? I mean, the options are narrowing. That's for darn sure. But I need some questions in all capitals. Come on, folks. Bring it for me. I know I have a delay, but now I'm putting the pressure on. I'm going to switch over here and hope that they're coming in any minute, or I'm going to have to think of a question on the spot. Am I still even live right now? Or are we all tired like me? I'm literally checking. The chat's so quiet. I'm literally checking to find out if I'm live right now. Oh, I'm live. I'm there. Oh, there the questions are. No pressure or anything, or all the pressure. Okay. Thank you, Corvin. You are saving my butt right now. All right. Oh, here they come. I've got 4 already. I can see it. All right. How can we finish the month out strong? Thank you. I love that question. How can we finish out the month? I think I read that funny the first time, but that'll work. And thank you. And then we have from Chris and Louise Tarot, how can we live out the Scorpio energy this Scorpio moon? Scorpio the full super moon in Scorpio coming up. I need to do my my full moon stuff tonight because I have family night tomorrow night. How can we live out the Scorpio? Let's put that in capitals. Scorpio energy this Scorpio moon. I like that. And we have Simon confirming I'm live. Thank you. Oh, now I got so many questions. You guys are awesome. All right. So remember, for those of you who will come back next week, save these questions. We are going to need them. All right. Then we have, okay, Tarot Knit Read Rabbit. Oh, how can we prepare for going back to work in person? I'm thinking about that. I love that you're bringing a question. The reason I'm pausing on this is because some of us maybe won't. Others maybe already are. Is there a way I can make that more collective? Help me out, folks. I know you've helped me out with this before. I'm going to hold on to that one for just a minute. And I'm going to pick up Antoinette's question here because I like that. I'm just trying to figure out how to make it a little bit more general, if that makes sense. Antoinette. Intuitive Tarot and Jewelry. How can we protect our energy this week? And you can't stay for all. Ooh, well then that's, hopefully you'll be able to stay long enough to get to your question. But if not, it'll still be here waiting for you. And then we have from Richard Longman Tarot, what do we need to take with us into Beltane? And then let's see if you guys have helped me out with that other question. What do we need to take with us into Beltane? Okay. Did anybody help me? Oh, Barbara, I like that. I feel like that's kind of a good way, or how can we adjust to changes coming or get to the new normal? I like that. So Barbara, I feel like, so let me make sure I have this right here. Tarot Knit Read Rabbit, do you feel like this kind of helps cover your question as well? What will the new normal look like as things start to open up again? I think that's a great suggestion for that. Oh, you guys are awesome. So many suggestions. How can we embrace changes upon re-entry? Kristen's already got ideas on how to answer. Okay, yes, that's what I was thinking. Okay, thank you all. Thanks all for your help. I don't want to discourage anybody new from asking questions because I love it and appreciate it so much. What will the new normal? So this is Barbara Sharp and Tarot Knit Read. Wait, do I have that right? Dang it. Tarot Knit Read Rabbit. Okay, I'm going to remember this. Thank you. Tarot Knit Read Rabbit and Barbara Sharp. You guys are awesome. What will the new normal look like as things start to open up again? All right, we have 5 questions. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, I could say awesome a few more times probably if I tried real hard. One more sip of coffee and then we're going to get to shuffling. Okay, from Corvin, this is so hard to shuffle. From Corvin, Tail Raven Tarot, how can we finish out the month strong? From Kristen Louise Tarot, how can we live out the Scorpio energy, the Scorpio moon, which I saw was really similar to what Jennifer Ball was asking as well. And from Antoinette, Intuitive Tarot and Jewelry, how can we protect our energy this week? From Richard at Longman Tarot, what do we need to take with us into Beltane? And does anybody need Richard to explain what Beltane is? And then from Tarot Knit Tarot Knit Read Rabbit. I'm going to have this by next week. I'm going to have it down. With an assist from Barbara Sharp. What will the new normal look like as things start to open up again? All right. All right. Not many cards left. And this week we have, ooh, what do y'all think? First impressions, thoughts, feelings before we get into meanings. Happy to see this? Not happy to see this? Let me know what you're thinking. All right, let's see if anybody else has snuck in here. Oh, Neem, I Googled good tarot questions and skimmed for the best. You are you're so helpful. Thank you. I appreciate you not wanting to leave me hanging. That was cute. Hi, Emily. Nice to see you in. And then let's see here. I think I got something. Thank you, Beth. I know you were helping as well. I appreciate it. I use exclamation points all the time, Donna. Everything I over exclaim all the time, but it's my inside voice coming out in my writing, I think. Let's see here. Excited to see what we get this week. Me too. All right, let me get down to Kristen has got one thing on her brain right now. Let me tell you. Okay, Gigi. Ooh, OMG. Yay. Scorpio full moon. Bring on the Scorpio, folks. Gemini, first thought, says Neem. Corvin's life path card. Pal's excited. Very fitting for Beltane. Little spring fever for everyone, perhaps. Patrice says, oh, good one. So much to learn. Tarot Rebel, hello. You're right. Long time no see. Let's see here. Scrolling. Queen Asahiru, I'm not surprised to see this card. I said I'd be more loving this week. So it's here to support that. Emily says, it makes so much sense for me with Venus being so vocal with this full moon in Scorpio and Mercury as well. And in Taurus Sun, it's a very sensual time. Oh, Kim says this card goes with a question I've had in my mind. Well, we're here to help, even if it didn't get asked out loud. Elle's trying to direct people to the appropriate website for all of this. All right, let's see what you guys think. So what meanings first come to mind other than sexy time and spring fever? Let's see. It's also Simon's life path card. Simon, I feel like you would much rather have my life path card, which is the Hermit. We haven't had the Hermit yet, have we? Have we? Oh, we have. What am I saying? Okay, never mind. Ignore me. All right, here we have Barbara. Individual choice is introduced to the Fool as she travels along the journey, seeking wholeness and being true to your values. Yes. Gigi says, this is my card of the year. Yeah, Simon confirmed we have had the Hermit this year. So how many people see this card and think about it in literal terms? This represents lovers and human connections versus the choice aspect. I feel like those are the two that often rise to the top. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that. Emily says, like answering my question before I asked it. That's really creepy, Emily. Yes, mostly I don't go to sex and relationships with this card. More often I think of its duality with the Devil card and the tension between opposites and navigating options and choices. Simon says, feeling drawn to another, making a choice as to what is right for you, making your mind up. Leaving behind tradition. Oh, that's an interesting aspect to this card, Kristen. Do share more. Donna says, I get this card a lot. I think it's because my husband and I have a business together. So it really makes me think of close partnerships with or without a romantic element. I can see that. Wanting a union. Corbin says, it all depends on context. So true. Very true. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you. Simon says it's intermingled, a little bit of both. I mean, same for me. I know sometimes people really kind of lean one way or the other. Kristen says, I read it as choice. I read two of cups as love, which is something I hear quite a bit. Layla Muma says duality. I always kind of, I really need to do more research on the whole concept of duality. Like I get it in a really abstract kind of way, like it just kind of floats through my brain. I'm like, yeah, I kind of understand the concept, but to be able to articulate it is something I'm not great at. And I know a lot of people have spoken on this. I think Brian Cormack Carr did a great video, probably more than one, about duality. I need to do more research on that. That's a little mental note for myself. Name says he's chasing her. She's chasing the angel. Who's chasing him? My best friend's wedding reference. Oh, that is. I totally recognize that reference. That's really funny. Antoinette says dual aspect of self. Oh, I got behind in the chat. Elle says I'm more the choice and uplifting route. Tarot Rebel says whenever I see the lovers, I think of enthusiasm and excitement without prejudice. Seeing the world in a balanced way, or at least seeking for the balance. I mean, I love that take on it, but of course I would, right? Beth says, I see the Two of Cups as the relationship card. Becca says, it depends on what the other cards are. Richard says, I go to life partners and life choices. Choose wisely. Like, really. So it's kind of like the big choices, like the choosing a partner in life is a really, or even for the moment, is a very big choice sometimes. So I can see how that intermingles in that way. Tarotnet Read Rabbit says, I always read it as choice, especially the choices I have that I don't see right away. Ooh, that's interesting. Anne, hi, Anne. Be conscious of decisions we make in life as well as relationships. Be open to new possibilities. Oh, there's a little good advice in that statement there. Donna says, I tend to see it as partnership first, but need to keep the choice aspect in mind. Yes. Pal's like, I like it. Queen Aset Hero says, for me, I go to love of all kinds and being purposefully in my heart center. Oh, you guys probably have already said it because you always beat me, even though I haven't got to that part of the chat yet. But let's pull out our melanated lovers before I get too far down the road here. Oh, pretty. It's always so pretty. Okay, here is, and don't worry, I will give us our close-up look, but for now, here's our melanated lovers. Barbara says, I see it more as coming of age, not necessarily romantic love. White Tree Tarot, hello, hello. Liking the card we have today. Gina, hi Gina, says, I think of it both ways, choice, love, interpersonal relationships, and a third about internal relationships with my parts and the choices involved in acknowledging or expressing those parts. So like all the different aspects of yourself, right? I mean, one of the lovers cards that I think is so cool is in the New Choice. No, not the New Choice Tarot, although I love that deck. It's right here. It's right. Next World. It started with an N. Y'all knew what I was thinking probably before I said it, but the Next World Tarot, where that's all about love of self and self-acceptance, right? Emily says, I go with the cards surrounding and the context mostly. Kristen says, exiting the Hierophant, which is about doing what is expected according to a set path. Adam and Eve went against expectations and used their free will and exited the garden. Oh, thank you. Thank you for expounding upon that for me. Let's see here. Scroll back up because the chat likes to jump on me. Pamela says, I definitely have always leaned towards the literal, but now that I'm older, I want to branch out towards other possibilities. Yeah, I was going to mention this, Donna. So the TDM card makes the choice aspect much more clear because we have a third person, right? So in that card, we see a male figure and two female figures in the card. And that kind of represents choosing one over the other, right? Simon says, which rules, our heart or our head when making a choice, right? And I feel like, like with the clouds and all of that, again, we'll dive into that. Those aspects are really well represented here. Elle says, signifying an aspect of a relationship, perhaps, being what people need at the time. So perhaps not necessarily a sustainable, stable love like Two of Cups, right? Where they're meeting in this really interesting, what's the word I want? Equal way. Emily says, for myself, I feel it mostly means I'm debating ideas and I'm conflicted. Yes. Ooh, did I miss a good comment from Becca? I saw some yes Beccas. If I did, I didn't mean to. It's not showing me. Dumb StreamYard, tell ya. Anyway, let's see. Barbara says, choices become integral to growth and they now have consequences. Spirit Healing Tarot says, a soulmate card for me. Oh, Antoinette, we'll still answer your question. It's still a good one. I'm sorry you're having internet issues if you're even still here to hear me say that. Emily says, I don't know Marseille really, but I always think of that depiction and the tensions between the elder generations and the value and assets that are on the table when it comes to relationships or dating, and especially marriage. Elle says, Gemini, associated with duality, decision, romance, and creativity. Balance between masculine and femme, darkness and light, joy and pain. Thanks for bringing duality into a really succinct paragraph for me. I very much appreciate that. Gigi says, I read it depending on context. Scroll back up. But mostly as choosing from the heart instead of from the head and as some kind of heart-fueled connection. Me too, Becca. Isn't it so pretty? I mean, both of these, like these cards, there's a lot going on in these cards, but I love how we get like the angel standing out more on the background of this card too. Elsa, side-by-side equity, lifting your loved ones up. Yes. Gigi, creativity that arises from balancing opposite polarities. White Tree Tarot, when I read this as a choice card, I usually approach it as choice when you really have just one option. Like when your head pretends it's choosing, but your heart already knows the answer. Ooh, that's tricky and very self-aware if we can get to that point, right? Kristen says, seeking wisdom instead of safety. Yes. Uh-oh, okay. I think I'm almost caught up to y'all. Neem says, the nudity to me references the willingness to be vulnerable and open. Yes. Emily says, I mentioned this earlier in my other comment, but the way the lovers echoes the devil card really stays with me. How relationships and choices can easily become toxic and problematic. Yeah, in fact, I think at last year's Tarot-thon, when I did the Finding Balance in the Tarot, I think we held up those two cards and we really talked about the differences, or how the lovers and the devil offset each other. Let's see. Becca says, and this is so true, separating heart from head is so hard. And it's really hard when you don't know which one is more correct. And then we go to the tarot and say, tell us what to do, right? Elle says, I think the Melanated Classic beats the Blushing Fool for me. It's my ultimate. The colors and facial expression at a whole new level. Ooh, now that is saying something. Jennifer Rebecca, hello. Oh, thank you for coming in when you can. And then Kristen says, oops, it jumped on me. Interdependence versus codependence. Yes, I think that's really a worthwhile thing to dive into with this card, because yeah, getting to that, especially when we think about it in reference to the love or to the devil. Okay, so let's take a close-up look. We'll start with the original, and then we'll take a close-up look at the melanated as well. Let's dive into some of the symbols that we see in this card, because there are so many. I want to make sure to leave enough time for it. And let's see. Oh, I see a good comment here from Lele Muma. Choosing who you want to be in life while being true to your beliefs and values. That is like my mission right now. Yeah. Thanks for being inside my head. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a nice close look. We have some focus there. So our sun. Does anybody know how many rays around the sun are and if it matters? It just now occurred to me. This flaming angel hair, the red wings. Now we have the two different trees behind what may be Adam and Eve. We have here this one here, which looks like the tree of wisdom that the apple was bitten from, and we have the serpent. And then over here, what is the, okay, you guys know me in plants. What kind of tree is that behind him? We have the angel floating in the clouds. We have the mountain, and we have the ground here. And then obviously we have our people depicted nude. So this, did you need me to like say, I literally just narrated the card. I hope that was fine. Let's take a nice close look up at our melanated version. And then I'll try not to show my cuticles that need a manicure oh so bad this time. She's got pretty things. Is there butterflies in her hair or something? Oh, they're modest. This is just so freaking pretty though. Okay, guys, we're going to keep looking at this one if that's okay. Okay, let's see what you guys were saying while I was showing this to you. Tree of life and the knowledge of good and evil. Yes. Oh, you love the narrations. Oh, good. Well, I've realized like every time we look close at these cards, there's always something that I kind of spot that's different. Yes, I am ready, Simon. That is why I'm showing them off for you. So Simon is always so kind. So I'm his PA in some of his lives, and then he's my PA in some of mine. And he goes and gets a lot of the symbol meanings from the Ultimate Guide to the Rider-Waite-Smith and drops them in the chat here for us, which I very much appreciate every week. So he's looking here, looking at all these different symbols. Now, this book may not always agree with other books' meanings of these symbols, but it's always fun to kind of see what it has to say. Is the melanated deck still available, Donna? It's been out in many different forms, and like sometimes you can find the different versions, but every version has changed. I did see on her website that she's actually currently or has put out a version, or the most recent version but it has like Bible quotes on it, which is a little different for me. That's not something that necessarily would draw me in, but maybe somebody has asked for it. But she keeps changing it up. She changes the backs. I think I have the first edition I managed to get. I know the second edition has like the 8 of Wands on the backs, which kind of freaks me out a little bit. But, oh, Elle's going to go get the link while I'm babbling at you. All right, so Simon, bring in the symbols for us. So the nakedness, negative aspects, lack of shame. Interesting. Crudity, positive aspects, openness and honesty, and last but not least, eroticism and lust. There you go, Kristen. Let's see here. Oh, thank you for posting that link, Elle. The cloud, the dark grayness of the cloud. Okay, so we see more of that in this particular version of the card. Mean that the lovers are held within its shadows. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. It's kind of hard to see in the light because it looks a little brighter here in my lighting. But if we look at it up close, you can really see. Let me get the focus on here. There we go. You can really see kind of the grayish tint to the cloud there. Like when I'm looking at it full on, yeah, I keep trying to get my lighting better every week. This one is better than last week, though. Let's see. Elle says, oh, there's a playing card version? Oh, Elle's stalking Ubria's website, I guess. All right, Simon, the sun, positive aspects. The angel connects the humans with the divine. Negative, the angel and cloud cast a shadow, resulting in unclear thoughts and obscure aims. The mountain, a warning that there can be a mountain of difficulties to overcome, but once overcome, you can be on top of the world. That's like my tarot card reading for the day. I pulled 3 cards, and that's pretty much what it says. Kristen says, I see lack of shame as positive. Did you see me stumble on that? I really stumbled on that because shame is an emotion that can be very much over, how do I want to phrase this? Like, it can be really detrimental to our health. It's one thing to recognize when we have done something that is wrong and to feel shame in a way that allows us to learn from it, make it right, grow, etc., and move past it. But to linger in shame is not great, I don't feel like. So it's interesting that they look at that as a positive aspect. Although, if we think back to the story, I think that's maybe where that's coming from. Simon, the snake warns against low instincts and motivation. However, it also indicates wisdom gains through experience. Oh, I just realized I can turn up. Oh, that's better. I can turn up the brightness on my computer so I can see better. Yep, gonna drink that coffee. Yeah, Becca says they didn't know they were naked until they ate the fruit. Right, and then they felt shame about it. Which, when we hear that story, don't we think, oh, but they shouldn't have to, right? That's normal. That's natural. I mean, not that I like running around naked, but that's my own thing. All right. Emily says, off topic. Back when I attended a Baptist church when I was about 19, I read a book about Eve, and it was beautiful, very uplifting and empowering. It was so different to everything else I was being taught. Yeah, when we think about that story, I mean, that could be a whole other live all on its own. We could really unpack some stuff there, I think, especially when we look at it from a woman's perspective. Simon, I agree too on the whole shame thing. I hesitated posting it, but I'm glad you did because then we could talk about it. So thank you. Pamela says, I sense the possibility of a volcano in that mountain. Yeah, it's looking a little explosive. Beth says, shame is learned and conditioned. Yes, exactly. Elle Gardner, being vulnerable in a relationship is what came to my mind. Yeah. Elle says, shame getting turned to fuel for self-punishment is bad. Uh-huh. Yes. Beth says, the Adam and Eve thing really depends on the patriarchal view. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. You got what I was putting down there, didn't you? Let's see. Kristen says, shame, to play devil's advocate, can be a tool for keeping people acting honorably. True, right? If you don't want to feel shame, right, because you don't want to act in a way that goes against your ethical, moral values, right? Because I would feel ashamed if I behaved in a way that went against those things, right? So I want to avoid shame in that aspect. So if I can apply this, even though it's kind of an interesting way to depict it, I can get that. I can get there. Is that mountain a little phallic as well? Even more so in this one, I think. You know, I mean, we'll call it like we see it here, right? So anything else, Simon, did you want to bring anything else forth from the book as we're talking about this? Are we feeling like we want to get looking? Is there anything else that we want to debate about before we move on to our alternative cards? Oh, Kristen, don't be acting all like innocent. You start all this. You started all of it. Let's see. White Tree Tarot says, it jumped. I'll quote Mr. Waite here. This is in all simplicity the card of human love, exhibited as part of the way, the truth, and the life. And then Simon said, it is representing Adam and Eve, and once their eyes were opened, they were ashamed of their nakedness and so covered themselves up, thereby alerting God to the fact that they were open-eyed like him. And interesting how that the enlightenment involves being ashamed of your own body. No. No. That gives me something to think about. All right. Clearly I'm in a mood to I don't know. Not play devil's advocate. That's not what I mean. All right. I have a surprise for you guys. I'm supposed to do a video on this. And by supposed to, I mean, nobody else has asked me to. I just really want to do a video on this. I got this week because I just had to. The new edition of the Tarot de Saint Croix, which is borderless. So if any of you have seen this and been put off by the orange borders that somehow I managed to grow to love, not going to lie, this new edition is out. I plan on posting a side-by-side video of it. So here are the backs now without the kind of the orange and white border, which I really love. But you're only going to get one teaser card today from this deck. Okay, so you'll have to keep an eye out for that video if you want to see the whole thing. But this has become a real fast favorite deck of mine. And this Lover's card, I had it as like the wallpaper on my phone for a while just because I loved it so much. And here it is. And then I'll see what you guys have been saying as you contemplate what you think about this particular card. Look, I love how like these leaves that seem to be falling from the trees look like little hearts. And we have some real ambiguity, I think, in maybe these characters, although I kind of see a masculine and feminine element there. I don't think that that necessarily has to be that literal. What do you think? And then let's see here. Barbara said, I can remember vividly things I am ashamed of, even stupid things way back to my childhood, and I still continue to feel bad about them and question my decisions. It's lack of self-compassion. Yeah, I mean, eventually we can't change it, right? The best we can do is forgive ourselves, do what we can to make whatever we can right and move forward. Ella had said, modesty for some is empowering. Immodesty, can't think of the right word, for some is empowering. That's a good point, Al. That's a really good point. Okay. Oh, Simon says, well, Jill, ooh, we're liking the deck. Donna says, the knowledge of their nakedness is a symbol for the loss of their childhood innocence. Neem, I hear you. Like I really love this deck. And so I'm not sorry at all to have both copies of it. Kristen said, the story also says, whoopsie, that is why they lose their immortality and why childbirth becomes painful. But that is a tangent we cannot take today. Yes. Oh, Patrice just got her version. Let it be the 9 of Swords I show. Oh, sorry. It's the Lover's Day. Yes, these colors are gorgeous. Been wanting this deck. Beltane appropriate. Yes, it is. This right here, this is, wait. My fingers won't go that way. What I get? Heart-eyed emojis. Let's see here. This card definitely looks more like the sensual reading for it. Yes, it does. Intertwining a deeper connection. That's what gets me about this card. Like it's that they're wound up in each other in a way that just evokes a whole lot of emotion in me. L. Gardner says, yes, they look very entwined in this version, which reminds me of the interdependent versus codependent concept. Oh, there's shadow there that I don't want to see, but you're right. You're totally right. They look like a DNA strand. Yeah. Does that remind you of like the Spacious Tarot, right? Where we kind of, the lovers looks like a DNA strand, which apparently was not even the intent of that card, which kind of blew me away when I heard Carrie Mellon talking about that. Neem says, this card screams union to me. Yes. Very Kundalini. Donna, liking that observation that you made there, Simon. So is Kristen. And Barbara. Yeah, see, Simon, with the DNA reference. That was a good one. Reminds me of Beltane. They are human maypole. Looking into each other's eyes, true connection, right? That's one of the things that really gets me about this is that, you know, that staring. It's like, you know what? I have a passion for dance. So to me, it's like they're entwined. Maybe they've been dancing. There's just something about it. Anyway, does this make you lean then when you see a depiction like this? Does this make you lean more towards thinking about love, connection versus the choice thing? Or can you still see that aspect in this card? To me, it's like they're choosing each other. So I can still see that aspect of it there. Oh, Elle, I was just going to go look in the book. So thank you for saving me from having to juggle. Elle says, this union is transpersonal, larger than just the two lovers. Tapping into this energy creates the possibility of life connecting with the divine and also a powerful tool for magic. Okay, that's beautiful. Love this deck. I really do. Okay, so let's see if we can answer Corvin's question. How can we finish out the month strong? How can we finish out the month strong? And maybe I think when I look at this particular card, and again, I think about sort of what it means, it's really focusing on those true, authentic, personal connections that we can make, right? Especially when we've been through all of these challenging times that we've been through. If we remember that a lot of times this is what we're here for, these connections that we have, making these choices that allow us to live in a loving and connected way, that, I mean, if we can find that, I'll be feeling pretty strong by the end of the month. I don't know about you. All right, what do you guys think? Donna says, they have definitely chosen each other above anything else. No angel seen here. Neem says, it's a bond, willingly, two making one new. That's magical. Yes, it is. Gigi says, yes, that's what I meant with the creative aspect of the fusion of opposite polarities. All right, if you guys have any other thoughts on how you want to answer Corvin's question, well, I drank more coffee, which is best for all of us. That will help me connect more meaningfully with you. Kristen says, recenter your connection to spirit. I like that aspect of it. Take time getting into your body. Let's see. And oh, I'm glad you got what I was thinking and saying there, Donna. I don't know if we still have Corvin here or if anyone else has kind of any other thoughts. Good morning, Jonathan. I'm just getting my coffee now too, but I've been up a little longer. Patrice says, we need to find our connection with others and offer a place of mutual support. Call on our empathy. I like that. Gigi, focus on what you love and what makes you love and do that. Yeah. I mean, to me, this is telling us definitely this particular depiction of the card is saying to come from a heart-centered place, right? So these choices aren't about what's in our head. It's definitely about what's in our heart. Spirit Healing Tarot says, today this card looks to me like Pamela's signature, shows me to be like her. Like Pamela and Coleman Smith? Is that the Pamela are you referring to? Corvin's drinking coffee too. I hope you're feeling better, by the way, Corvin. Let's see here. Emily says, I think we need to work on releasing things that have caused pain and that have been hidden for a while and embody those experiences and transmute them into pleasure and joy. Yes. And then Emily says, grounding for me has helped so much this weekend. I did not ground well yesterday at all. I was working on a big project. So today, like my first card that I pulled was the 10 of Swords. I'm like, yeah, I'm mentally exhausted, but we're trying not to let it show too much here in Playdate. Hi, Oak Mama Melanie. Nice to see you. All right, so that was a fun preview of the Borderless Tarot de Saint Croix, which I'm very much excited to show more of here soon. Hopefully I'll film that later today. Maybe. No promises. I don't want to commit to anything. Okay, the next deck that I have here, let's go a little funky. I don't think we've seen this deck in Playdate in a while, and I have here in the bright light, we'll go this side, the Dreaming Way Tarot. I want to see what Layli Muma here was saying. The red person is literally trusting the green one so much to hold her. So if you're feeling down, don't be afraid of asking for help to your support system and people you trust. So recognizing that one person is lifting the other up here. Good spot on that one. Okay. All right, this one is, this gives me like beyond a different vibe for this card. Thank you, Elle. I appreciate that. You guys, I mean, it's not hard to hang out with you all. I mean, really, no matter what kind of day I'm having. Okay. So this is a trimmed copy that I won in a giveaway. These are the backs. So usually this deck initially comes with borders, but let me give you a nice close-up look. It's kind of a more modern twist. Let's get some faces so it'll focus. There we go. So here, now this is interesting because in between here we have our angel type figure holding the hands of both of these people. So there's this support that's coming from the angel rather than this thing that's happening from above like we've seen in some of the other cards. What do you think about that? And I'll try to hold it a little bit closer. There we go. Thank you, Emily. That was really sweet. Kristen says, who knows the colors of the chakras? Red is sacral. What is green? That's the heart chakra. Let's see here. Yep, green is heart. Oh, hi, Tarot Diva Ellie. Nice to see you in here. Neem said, tell Raven Tarot, reach out and grab something that makes you feel complete. Look it in the eye and then lick it like the Hermit's Cave did the red heart palm stone the other day. Okay, did you actually lick it? Oh, no. Let's see here. Emily says, love the card in this deck. Patrice says, this angel looks like their chaperone. Like, okay, you guys need to maintain a distance. Don't get too close on the dance floor. And then Kristen says it looks like a matchmaker. So are we trying to keep them apart? Yeah, maybe the angel's like, here, you two hold hands now, right? I like that. Shane says, don't like rocks, but I'm pretty sure what he means is don't lick rocks. Oh, Simon. All right, focus on our, okay. Simon licking rocks. I know this is fun, but all right, what do you guys think? Any different depictions? I love that here. I don't know. It's interesting because I guess I'm looking. So in this version of the lovers, right, we have, hold on, I'm going to do a little show and tell while you guys are thinking. We have the lovers, focus, because I want you to see this and it will do better with what, there we go. So the lovers are, they kind of have their heads up and looking up, and same in this version, right? We have our heads up. So there's not this, but in this one, there's kind of this downward cast. I mean, it almost looks like they're all like praying together in a way. I'm kind of curious to see what the book says. Wow. Now that I put this all away. And I think that if I remember right, this may not be the best guidebook. It might just be, no, just keywords. Never mind. No hints for me. We'll just have to go with our heart and our instincts. Okay, let's see what you guys have to say. Donna says, the couple look kind of uncertain, but the angel is helping them connect. Makes me think of a relationship counselor. Ooh. Oh, that's kind of an interesting way to think about this card too, right? With the choices, because there's always these hurdles, right? We have the mountains in the card, right? That indicate the challenges. We have the stormy clouds. So this person, rather than looking above saying, make your choice, which is oftentimes what it feels like to me, this is more of a guidance that's happening and helping them to connect better, perhaps. Ooh, love that. Kristen says she's not an angel, but a butterfly, symbol of transformation. Yes. Emily said, Becca, think of the germs, Simon. Has the last year and a half taught you nothing? Oh my goodness. It feels like divine timing and divine connections. Like these two are meant to connect and fate makes it so. See, Neem was worried about you, Shane. I know. I miss him being around us more. Kristen says they don't look very happy. Reserve, humility. Pamela says I'm getting fairy energy, more of an earth energy. So it feels more grounded. Gypsy in the forest, hello. TDM has one man and two women on the Lovers card. So choice and decision as well as union, love, bonding comes to mind. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about that earlier. It's almost unfortunate I don't have all my Tarot de Marseille decks are in my bedroom. Let's see. Emily says, honestly, the card makes me think of university. I didn't think that would translate so well to the collective, but for me, I can't get away from it. Huh, that's interesting. Barbara says, maybe a call to use your head and not your heart for important choices. Ellie says, the angel is also on the same level as the two she wants to connect. More earthly, yet ethereal because of the wings. And do you think maybe, maybe they're more likely to follow her advice because she's down on the same level with them? Melanie says, whoopsie, that was not the one I wanted. Here it is. Sometimes people or couples need help connecting or reconnecting. Yes. Let's see here. We're going to get to that, Chris, and we're going to get to your Scorpio question. Elle told me some interesting things about Scorpio because I'm Scorpio rising. So I'm really interested to read more about that in relation to the full moon later tonight. Emily says there's definitely this energy that they have been whisked away from real life and time has stopped. All right, let's answer question number 2, which, as Kristen mentioned, is her question. How can we live out the Scorpio energy this Scorpio moon? So our astrology folks in the room, when you think about embracing Scorpio energy, and I haven't done enough research on my rising sign. Emily's Scorpio rising as well. So Emily, I know you're huge into astrology, so I'm sure you'll have some thoughts on this, but what does that mean? And how can we then apply this card to that? Like I think of, Elle, what were you, or maybe Elle, if you're still around, you were telling me something really interesting about Scorpio energy the other day. And you were like, and I was like, that makes so much sense. But now it's gone flying out of my head. I hate holding it on this side because the light's so crappy, but I need to drink my coffee. Well, we got a few Scorpio risings in the room. Thank you, Gigi. Scorpio is very strong, very inquisitive, mysterious. Okay, so bringing that, right? The inquisitiveness, the choices that have to be made, the mystery, the strength, all of those, I can see how we could apply this. Yeah, Scorpio moon coming up. It's a super moon too. Our first one of the year. All right, Donna's got a great answer to this question. Try to recommit to your passion. Remember, you were talking about that a little earlier, Kristen. Maybe embracing that sexy time, right? Yeah, I'm sipping, Jonathan. Scorpio are intense. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I dated a Scorpio. Yep. Yeah, that was, I mean, it was fun because he was just like, yeah. Like he was always doing things that were unexpected, if that makes sense, but keeping up with them sometimes was a little hard just from an energy level. Emily says we need to release whatever we feel may be blocking us. Scorpio is a truth seeker and actually very high achieving as well as intuitive. There may be pressure to reach a choice. Thank you for bringing that to us, Emily. Let's see here. Oh, that's interesting. Scorpio also rather kills itself when in danger than its opponent. Like scorpions, is that what they do? Oh. Kristen says they are interested in darker interests. That was true about that guy that I dated. Totally true. Elle says Scorpio rising. This is it. Thank you, Elle. Your strength and insight gives you the ability to change your own life and help others overcome what is holding them back. So like focusing on that to like live out the Scorpio energy, I mean, that's putting all kinds of good stuff into the world. Debbie says, I'm married to a Scorpio. Oh, so you could probably say some stuff. Do dish, Debbie. Ellie says, I need lots of me time right now. Gigi says, yes, they are so strong that they are not afraid to go to the deepest depths. And then Emily says, but we need to release that. So kind of what you were saying earlier. Saturn is slowing us down. We need to just allow and hold space, feel the feels, and don't put time constraints on ourselves. Oh, that's an important message. Let's see here. Get into body, do physical exercises, feel sensual pleasure. Pink lingerie? I mean, sure, right? Capture the energy of these pink butterfly wings. I mean, didn't work out. For many reasons, not just because he was a Scorpio. Let's see here. Neem says, so in that case, externally, either you are the peacemaker or one of the opponents, or internally teaching yourself how to appreciate both your own divine, masculine, and feminine. That would be the ideal, wouldn't it? Let's see. a little special magic, perhaps. Time is really potent for manifesting that. Let's see here. Okay, you guys are giving me some personal experiences with Scorpios now. Hopefully, Kristen Louise, we've given you some answers, but I think you had your question answered when I immediately pulled the card, right? Okay, let's get out the next deck. So this one now is one of my earliest tarot decks that is out of print, but it's a fun one for me. And that is the Wizard's Tarot by Corinne Kenner. So it's kind of a favorite of mine to pull out. I love kind of the story behind it. I edged it in like gold pen way back in the day to match, which always is kind of fun. It was one of my earliest mods as well. Let's see what we have here for the lovers. Oh, this one's fun. Okay, this is going to give us a little something different to think about. Okay, here we go. So here we have our symbol for Gemini there. I'm not sure what that other one is in the other corner. Anybody know that? Here the trees are the same. She's holding this, forbidden fruit perhaps. Now, this is interesting because here we have knowledge. We have this angelic woman standing here holding this apple. They're very deep in their studies with lots of books. So I love the fact that this has brought in the whole concept of a knowledge into this card. What do you guys think? Bye, Emily. Have a good rest of your day. Hi, Regina Tarot. Nice to see you. Oh, Corinne Kenner wrote a great book on astrology and tarot. Oh, really? Send me those details, will you, Melanie? Thanks. Oh, Corbin says this is one of your earlier decks as well. Okay, Gina says, an invitation to trust that you won't lose yourself if you love someone, yourself or the world, from a place of integrity. Corbin says it's the Hebrew letter for this card. Okay, that was my suspicion, but I'm always afraid of saying something really dumb. So I don't experience shame. Let's see if it says anything in the book about it. I don't have the bigger book for this. I do have, I don't think I have it on my new phone, but I had the Fool's Dog app so that I could get the guidebook because I realized I didn't want to pay $100 for the guidebook. Oh, this actually has some good stuff in here. So I'm going to read this for you and you guys can tell me what you think. Ooh, let me bring that down. So here, the professor in this card embodies the lyric, charm and beauty of the written word. She's beautiful and ageless like Aphrodite, goddess of love. The Lover's card can symbolize love, romance, and marriage. A large percentage of spells, after all, are designed to attract new love, renew old love, or reunite lost love. While an appearance by this couple could encourage any hopeless romantic, the Lover's card also signifies a choice to be made between competing drives and desires. The young lovers as the image illustrates the twin principles, or the young lovers in the image illustrate the twin principles of action and reaction, yin and yang, and give and take. Because opposites attract, the two students also offer a study in contrast. The girl is female and the boy is male. The girl is left-handed while the boy is right-handed. Ooh, did anybody catch that? I didn't. The girl is dark, which signifies the tendency for girls to mature more quickly in love and think more deeply about relationships. This little book is better than I give it credit for. The boy, on the other hand, is pale and lovesick. This is cute. All right, tell me what you think. Okay, I'm not going to know how to pronounce that. The Hebrew letter nun, is it as it's spelled? Jackie says, this looks like the Hierophant. Is it because of all the knowledge bit? Donna says, a passion for learning. Yeah, it is really very different, Becca. Let's see here. Jumped again on me. No dumb here. I mean, I try not to. I really try not to. Elle says, this one gives off such a different vibe than the intertwined one. Was it Saint Croix? Yes. Yes, it was. So interesting that the same card can be portrayed so differently to me. This is why I really enjoy being able to talk about the different cards that represent each of them. That sounds to make sense, but I know y'all know what I mean. Patrice says they almost don't seem to know the other exists. Knowledge over connection, right? So there could be a little shadowy element there too. White Tree Tarot, here gaining the knowledge from the tree of knowledge is depicted quite literally. Yes. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. But I appreciate it. Jonathan has the book. I appreciate that. Maybe share it in the, I don't know if you're in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group. Are you in the Facebook group? Jonathan says they're trying to outdo each other with their knowledge. Bye, Maharet. Thank you for being here. Yay, representing the lefties. Yeah, I find so many artistic people are left-handed. Makes me feel less artistic just because I have a right hand because I use my right hand. Gina says none of the three people have eye contact with each other, which was also kind of similar here, right? We kind of saw that a little bit in this version of the card with them all looking down. Sorry, that focus was terrible. Donna says, this reminds me of studying at college. Our shared experience made the relationships with my classmates quite intense at the time. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so even though we lost Antoinette, we're going to answer her question so she can come back and see the answer. How can we protect our energy this week? Okay, I find that really interesting. I always love how the decks end up pairing with the questions, right? Because this to me, with them each focused on what it is that they're trying to accomplish rather than say us trying to answer that question with this card, we probably give a very different answer. So when we ask the question, how can we protect our energy this week? For me, when I see this, I think, okay, by doing our due diligence, right? Making sure that we are secure in the knowledge that we ourselves have before we start relying on somebody else, right? Now, that doesn't mean don't rely on other people. It just means like do your own work, right? A lot of times we're faced with situations, especially to avoid codependency, like we were talking about, and it requires each person to do their own work before they can fully connect to one another. So maybe that's a bit of a warning that we have to make sure we are doing what we need and learning what we need for ourselves so that we can fully connect. Okay, let's see what you all have to say. Oh, nothing's happening in the chat. I was that captivating, right? I'm gonna drink some coffee while you guys tell me some of your thoughts. Jonathan's a right-handed artist. I'm not saying right-handed people can't be artists. I'm just saying that it seems like a lot of left-handed folk or a lot of artistic folk are left-handed, but it's not a hard and fast rule. All right, Kristen says, do one pile first before going to the next, as in the pile of books, instead of getting overwhelmed by everything at once. Oh, I like that too. Sort of like tackling things a bit methodically so that in one step at a time, one book at a time, so we don't get overwhelmed. Oh, sorry, I didn't highlight that comment. That was an answer there. Where is my little chatty here? Any other thoughts on how you might want to answer this question? We can't let Antoinette down. She's going to come back and watch. I have faith in her choices that she will make. Nothing? I mean, I can go to the next card. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got Donna. Donna coming in. Do your research first so you don't waste energy following false paths. Oh, I like that too. And Kristen, eat more fruits and veggies. Ah, yeah. See, looking at the literal fruit there. I see what you're doing. Left-handed people used to be discriminated against. You know, it's funny. I remember people talking about parents trying to force them to use the other hand. And why? Why does it matter? I don't get that. Gigi says, concentrate on the task at hand and give it your all instead of being distracted by either Barbies wanting to, by other Barbies wanting to hand you a candy apple. Don't get distracted by Barbie. That might be the best advice of the day. Thank you, Spirit Healing Tarot. Or Neem says, or ignore the fruits and veggies. Twinkies, go better with work. You know, I like me a bag of pirate's booty. And if you don't know what that is, you're really missing out. I'm just going to tell you, I might have a slight addiction to the pirate's booty. Okay, let's get our next deck out, but feel free to answer that question if you want. Becca's like, I never understood why. No, because it doesn't make any sense. All right, we have 2 more decks, folks. We can do this. I think we're doing okay for time, but I say that every time and then I end up rushing at the end. Elle Gardner says, yes, I had an older piano teacher who tried to get me to switch hands when I was young. Ooh, yuck. Beth says, that's where the Latin word sinister comes from. Prejudice against left-handed people. No, really? Jonathan says, clarify your intention before you begin by putting your goals and objectives in writing. What does my shirt say? My shirt says, it doesn't have to happen to you for it to matter to you. Social statement of the day. I love this sweatshirt so much. I found it on the same site. It's called Bonfire or Bonefire. I think it's called Bonfire, where they had the No Justice, No Peace tarot t-shirts. Completely different seller, but I happened to see them pop up in an ad. I'm like, yes, I need that. All right, so the next deck that I have for you today is the Crow Tarot. So this is kind of an oldie but a goodie. And so for those animal deck lovers, sometimes I struggle with the animal decks, but the Crow Tarot is one that actually works pretty well for me. Okay. Oh, hi, Lisa Dom. Nice to see you. All right. So wait, hold on. I have problems. I can do this. I wanted to leave the book out for this one. So this is the mass market version of the Crow Tarot. Let's take a nice close-up look at this one, see what you think. Lots going on in this card because of its kind of collage-y nature. We have the 2 trees, we have some birds, we have a moon and a sun, so maybe kind of representing some of the duality there. A serpent in the middle, and then we have our 2 crows connected to this heart or eating the heart. What do you think? Well, Oak Mama was answering the last question, getting clear on your beliefs and values. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, I like that. That's a great answer for that. Let's see here. Sheila, nice to see you. Neem says, one of my sisters is a lefty, and she thinks that makes her superior to all of her siblings. I may have to give her the right palm. Oh, no. Okay. So what do you guys think about this one? How do you see it? Lori's like, I had to Google pirate's booty. It's delicious. I'm just saying. That would be great, Jonathan, if you want to share the pages for that book entry on the Facebook group. I would love that. They're sharing a heart in whatever way. Oh, I like how you put that, Gigi. That's perfect, right? So whatever they're doing with it, they are sharing it. I like that. Maybe what I'll do here is take a quick look at the book so you guys can put your thoughts together. I'm really excited to see my next deck too. So I'm trying not to rush this one. So on the surface, this card represents love and unity. However, it goes deeper as it also describes karmic passion and soul relationships that span lifetimes. So somebody really early on was saying they see this as a soulmate card, right? The crows have traveled together through space and time, drinking from the same heart. Now we know what they're doing. Binds them as their veins fill with the same life force, joining their spirit for eternity. Together, each decision is made as the outcome will forever affect them both. From the person you love to the place you settle down, this card asks that you examine your belief system and use your inner compass when deciding to join forces. So we talked earlier about how that's such an important choice, right? The Lovers brings the message that some benefits and consequences will eventually reveal themselves for better or for worse. The Lovers reversed, we'll get back to that. All right, what do you guys think? So Pal's Tarot Time was kind of picking up on the meaning of this. Two heads, thinking and acting as one. Name says, I just can't with the crows. I just can't. You just keep thinking about the left hand, right hand thing then, okay? Ogmama says, so that you can make the right decision or make and enforce your own boundaries. Now let's go the other way in the chat. Let's see. Kristen says, when one sees two crows, it can symbolize good fortune and change coming. Oh, I see crows all the time here. So MJ Cullinane, who created this deck, is from this area, from Washington State. So I can see where she got her inspiration because I have them all over the place. Sheila says, in this particular card, it's very much like a mirror, right? So we're seeing these two sides, but with these slight differences, right? Sun and moon, or sun and moon, right? But just enough of a difference for it to not be exactly the same, but yet feeling like they are kind of drinking from the same heart and sharing the same everything. White Tree Tarot says, crows eat small animals, so that snake is not in a safe place. Sharing is caring. Sorry, these all get voices now, apparently. So Barbara says, so this card is more the soulmate meaning than the choices meaning. Yeah, except for choosing your soulmate, perhaps. I don't know. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, we're talking about the left-handedness thing. Far away, this card looks like an ink blot test. What do you see? What does it tell us about your psychology? All right. Becca says, there are lots of crows in the wood outside my window, all nesting. Yeah, and we have this like huge oak tree outside my window, so they like to hang out there as well. All right, let's get straight to our question here from Richard Longman Tarot. I don't know if he's still here. What do we need to take with us into Beltane? What do we need to take with us into Beltane? Well, maybe we should go out for a drink and I'll drink from, no. This is COVID times, Jen. What are you saying? In another year, perhaps. In the meantime, Jonathan said, this is less about choice and more about how sharing the experience brings us closer. And maybe that right there is also kind of an answer to the question, right? How we can connect as we move into Beltane and we look to spring, right? In the coming season, well, I guess we're already in spring, but it's looking at what's ahead. We can find those ways to connect and have that positive and hopeful outlook, right? And again, I feel like I just want to give you the same answer I gave a couple questions ago, right? It's about making those connections. Kristen says this card is hard to read intuitively. Hey, that's fair. We can't all kind of dive all into them at once, I think. Oh, I like this, Ellie. Have a hearty meal. Yeah. Ooh, celebrate with some good food, some good drink. Yes, I like what you're thinking. Elle says gratitude and appreciation for what and who we have around us. That's always a very good answer to almost any question. Thank you, Elle. Hey, yeah, and if you can't go out to drink, bring the drink to you. Problem solved. Yeah, I call Postmates. They bring me stuff. It's great. Actually, I don't call them. I reach out to them online. Hardy. I didn't get the pun until just now. That is punny. Shane, if you were still here, you could tell Oliver. He would appreciate that. Jonathan says, have that special someone over for a meal and a drink and a chat about life. Yeah, this is not the time for shallow connections. This is the time for those deep and meaningful conversations and connections. So even if we have to do it virtually, if you can't have somebody over, that might be a way to embrace it as well. And then Kristen said, balance heart with wisdom. Drink, but not too much. Yeah, see, you can read this card intuitively. All right, my friends, let's get to our last alternative deck and question for the day. And then don't forget, we still need to talk about reversals and the activity. So I have, whoopsie, I have the Slow Tarot by Lacey Bryant. I haven't said who all the creators are, but all right, let's get the Lovers out of this one. It's pretty. Okay. Gigi says, I'm repeating myself, but love is the creative force. That's what Beltane is about, right? Yeah, I don't know the Sabbats very well. Did we answer your question okay, Richard? I hope we did. Barbara said, sometimes you just have to go with a literal meaning and not think too intuitively. That's true. White Tree Tarot had said, sharing and being together can present itself in different ways. We have learned it during these times. Boy, have we ever. Sheila says, I'm getting back into my reversals, just going with it again. All right, here are the backs of the Slow Tarot. Here is this version of the card. You get to see the linen finish on these cards. So here we have, is that house on fire? Oh, no. They're so distracted by each other, they don't see that the house is on fire. I never noticed that before. Sorry, I'm very traumatized by the house on fire. What do you guys think about that? Let's see here. Hi, Chantal. You're making it in time for our last alternative card. Thoughts about this particular Lovers? I'm so distracted by the fire, I don't even know what to think. I'm going to get the book. Corbin says, I never noticed that before either. Okay, that's what happens when I pull these cards up close sometimes, huh? Okay, this is the Slow Tarot by Lacey Bryant. I think it's available on Etsy. Is that where her store is? And are they tied together? They do look like they have something wrapped around them, don't they? Oh yeah, they're totally entwined with one another. We have all these candles around all this foliage. Clearly, they have not learned their lesson about the burning house in the background. Let's see. Yeah, they are surrounded by candles. Becca says a heart overhead example. Wait, I wanted to highlight that. Yes. Jonathan says, I backed the Kickstarter. I never noticed the house on fire before, right? I think that might be our epiphany of the day, for sure. Proper in this card, I think I'm missing a word, is of ultimate importance. Maybe they survived the fire and are grateful. That could be. Maybe it's really focusing on the human connection. I'm digging in the book, which is why you don't see the card right now. And maybe that's more important to them than the material things. Oh my gosh, why does this writing have to be so tiny with my 48-year-old eyes? Oh my gosh. Strings attached? Yeah. Oops. They are pretty slow doing something about the fire for sure. Okay, so let me get this back up here. Okay, that's really tiny. Okay, no, I don't have any reading glasses. Oh, I know what I have. I have a phone. Sorry, I have to put this down. I'm totally pulling the old lady trick with the flashlight. Just don't mind me. Okay, so there is no force in the human experience as horrifying or as inspiring as the emotion of love. The Lovers represents the facet of the seeker's psyche that pushes them into illogical and impassioned behavior when spurred by desire. It also symbolizes the binding of two quarrelsome entities in order to create an effective union. While it can be said that the Lovers symbolizes harmony, it is more truthful to say it represents the choices one must make in order to reach compromise. Also, sex. Well, nothing about the house on fire. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, but it kind of makes sense. Like it's that distracting, over-consuming, perhaps love and connection, right? Jenna says, I love it when cards surprise us like that. Let's see here. Unsafe candle usage. Clearly, it is not only to fly. Is that what that's meant to say? It is to enjoy the time with this person. Oh, interesting. Gigi says, things that have been created are bound to be destroyed, but it doesn't stop the flowers to grow back in spring, and it doesn't stop the lovers from lighting more candles and creating more. Right. Yes. Yeah. Oh, this is one of my favorite memes, Kristen. This is fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Right? All right. Let's see if we can answer our last question, our combo question from Tarot Knit Reed Rabbit and Barbara Sharp. What will the new normal look like as things start to open up again? It's all going to be fine. Right? Oh no. How are you going to answer this one? Donna said maybe their love for each other literally saved them. If they hadn't been outside having a tryst, they might have been asleep and overcome by the fire. Ooh, good thinking. Lisa, living in a dream world. Chantal says they're so consumed by one another. It's kind of cool. I mean, how many of us don't actually kind of long for that really consuming passion, right? I really don't want my house to burn down. What would we do with Playdate then, right? But strings attached and passions burning. The roof is on fire. Did I say that right? All right, Patrice, lots of heat and passion, enough to burn the house down. Yep, strings attached. So if we want to answer the question, so Ellie says, we will run outside and sit in the grass together, no matter what happens with our home. And love being in love, right? So even though, let's think about this, like for real, right? What will the new normal look like as things start to open up again? Perhaps the new normal is us being able to find gratitude and joy, even when things go horribly awry sometimes, right? If we focus on what really matters, when we think about what we may have lost, right? Especially when it comes to like material things or a certain expectation or way that we've become accustomed to living. There are things that we have found. And I do think in the last year and a half, right, we have found new and innovative ways to connect with people far away. Like I have friends that live far away, and I used to take it for granted that I just couldn't talk to them very often because they weren't nearby. And now I speak to them and see them as regularly as I would see anyone who I could see in person. So being able to perhaps focus on the beauty and the connections that we've been able to forge, that's something we can carry forward so that when things do happen and traumatic events occur, we'll have the support that we need to continue and to power through it. All right. Whew. All right. I'll breathe now. Let's see what you guys were all saying. Barbara Sharp said, we will pretend to be fine, but the virus may have its own plan. I mean, that's another way to look at it. Let's see. Neem says, if a crow caught at me, my inner lion would turn kitty in a heartbeat. Growing up, a belief is if a crow comes to your window, death is coming. Ooh, ouch. Oklahoma says, it's like Frozen. When the snowman Olaf says, how awesome is it to melt for another? Oh, that's cute. Kristen says, you will stop social distancing, but it will bring to the fore old, unhealthy interpersonal issues, ? Donna, this is kind of what I was getting at with much more words. Our relationships will be more important than the material. Becca's like, I hope they manage to salvage some clothes. Well, there's no shame in the lover's card, we've decided, haven't we? Mostly. Laylee Muma says, the house burning is like the world falling apart, or better, our certainties. Because of the pandemic, the house can burn. What is important is what stays. Yes. Jennifer says, embracing the world with love and compassion, not fire and brimstone. You know what, Barbara? It's fair though. So you're a healthcare provider. It's been hard. My heart goes out to you. Thank you for all you have probably done over the last year and a half. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. So thank you. Patrice, I love the depth. Oh, thank you. New ways to connect, beauty and connection. Yes. Ellie says, I think we all will be more aware of what freedom really means. It's not money and possessions, but being together and being able to go where we want. Yes. Aspasia rising. Fire burns down the past and we rise from the ashes. Yes, yes, yes. Lily Muma says, I'm Italian, but live in the Netherlands. I haven't been able to see my family for almost 2 years. I talk to them more now than before. It brought up a different perspective. Exactly. And then Chantal says, I'm afraid that people will let go of all the rules, social distancing, etc. So there could be danger in the pandemic flaring up again or flaming up again, right? So we have to be careful not to be oblivious to what we need to do to prevent trauma from reoccurring, right? Okay, my friends. Long-haired, skinny-eyed toe. Hello. Okay, so, I like this too. Spirit Healing Tarot. Follow your passion, the rest be damned. I mean, that's a good note to end on right there, isn't it? But we're not done. We're not done. We got reversals, or at least for a moment. So I don't particularly read reversals, but I will look at cards as if sometimes they are reversed in different spreads. If it comes up in a what not to do or a challenge position or a shadow. So what do we think of when we see the Lovers reversed? And just to get, actually, let me get my little banner up here. We're doing our reversals. What do we think of when we see this card upside down? So I started to read from the Crow Tarot. So just for fun, while you guys are thinking about this, I'll read the reversal from the Crow Tarot that I stopped reading earlier. The Lovers reversed may tell of an imbalance in a relationship. As a result, you may discover you are not being honest with yourself about the reasoning behind your decision. Take the time to check in, meditate, and examine your choices. So when we think about it from that choice perspective, it's, are we doing it for the right reasons? Did I make that choice from a place of sincerity, authenticity, or from a genuine desire to do the right thing? You know, all those things can come up when this is in reverse, I think. Ogmama says disharmony, imbalance, misalignment. Yes. Well, let me pull up our little melanated here. Patrice was talking about, I think you were talking about this version. This also depicts the connections we made in this community that have deepened as a result of the pandemic, house burning. I'm so grateful for you all. Me too, Patrice. I could not say that any better myself. Any other thoughts on reversals for the Lovers? You know, maybe it's hard for me because I almost want to just go straight to the Devil, the Devil card upright with this card, right, in reverse. And I'm not sure that's exactly the right thing to do, right? Because we can still have those connections. We can still be making those choices, but maybe we're not quite on the right path. You know, we're just a little left of center. We're kind of trudging through the brush that we don't need to, making it harder than it is. Those kinds of things. Let's see. Jonathan says reverse. The Lovers becomes overly focused on pleasure, sex, and all sorts of naughty stuff. See, straight to the Devil card. That's what I was saying. Love turns to lust. You can lose sight of your morality, blurring the lines between what is right and wrong. And then Donna said obsession as opposed to healthy love. Yes. Or maybe it's also too, it's thinking that the only way that you can have these connections is by finding the absolute ideal. I'm just making this up, by the way, so you can take or leave this for what you want. But it's, you know, it's being so focused on the perfect version of it that you never quite get there. You never quite grasp it because the ideal is not reality. Kristen says, if we read it as choice, it means being fearful to step out on your own and form your own identity, sticking to tradition, even if it is oppressive. Ooh, that's a good one. Jonathan says, you may become confused as to what you believe in, making improper decisions and choices. Harmony and balance are upset. Things are not equal or in sync. Yes. Okay, so one last thing before I set you on your way. And don't forget, keep an eye out for my little announcement video later today. I hope it's later today. I need the project to be done. So let me give you an activity for the week, which I will. Oh, good, it's a short one because my voice is tired. But I will post this in the description box below this video. I will also link the video in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group and post it there. And also the last week or two, I've been including the activity in my Instagram posts when I take a picture of all the cards that we drew. So if you're not following me on Instagram and you'd like to just kind of see them all laid out, check that out there. And I've been posting the activity there too, so people can respond or use the hashtag Tarot Playdate if you want to share some of your favorite lovers cards and you're not in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group. I know a lot of folks are in the Hermit's Cave, and we just saw a crud load of lovers cards go into the Hermit's Cave. And we have far less members in Tarot Playdate than the Hermit's Cave, but we can put up a good showing, right? Let's do a little competing with the Hermit's Cave and put a bunch of lovers cards in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group. All right, my friends, here is your activity. It's all about choices. So you can see I took a particular focus with this card. Shuffle your deck, pull 2 cards at a time. With each pairing, okay, what was I thinking? With each pairing, pick a favorite and set the other aside. Once you're left with 2 piles, shuffle the favorites pile and repeat the exercise. Repeat the exercise until you're down to the last card in the deck. Journal about why you think this ended up being the favorite choice. So when I think about an activity like this, it's going to be about wherever you're sort of at in your mind right now. But this is a great way to connect with the deck using the Lover's card as inspiration. All right, my friends, let me find you again because I've lost. There it is. Let me see if I missed any comments. No competition needed. I was just kidding. I can't compete with 3,000 members in the Hermit's Cave. I want to see. Oh, Kristen had said, if we read it as choice, it means being fearful to step out on your own and form your own identity, sticking to tradition, even if it is oppressive. Ooh, like that. Anyway, my folks, thank you for another great play date. I appreciate you hanging in with me as always. And I look forward to seeing you next week and seeing you around whatever Facebook group you want to be in or not. All right. I'm sending lots and lots of love. Bye, all.